more eyes on with all this stuff. So you're like 9 days
What
in?
follows light and
Wow.
shadow is silence.
That's crazy, Brian.
That silence breaks. I am.
Okay, Brian distracted me with her crying.
What follows light and shadow is silence. That silence breaks.
Deadfoot.
I am summoning you as a new age begins.
I will say my first reaction to this, I was like, oh, let's go. Like, Destiny 1 kind of launching vibe there, and awesome to get CG. So that excited me. Just getting, you know, getting more cutscenes out of the world of Destiny is exciting.
They remember how to thrive. But they have forgotten.
By the way, why is everything still being uploaded in 1080p even? I mean, there's other... You should just upscale it at least. God, do I have to do everything myself?
They forgot.
People don't know what they're doing.
Long before
Sorry.
Traveler.
Sorry, Bungie. I'm just being real. It's about the bit rate. It's not about the resolution. Right?
They forgot
Also,
that they need us.
you could have rendered this higher than 1080p. Come on.
But they are fated to remember. I will remind them.
They're feated to remember.
I'm sure you will. But not through me. Find someone else.
So what, this Right of the Nine ladies? Like, nah, I don't want to be part of this. And they just do that whenever they want. Gonna become a little guardian.
My will is my own.
I'm gonna have to have Mylan explain that to me. Nice visuals on all this stuff, though. I do quite enjoy that.
All right, everyone, hello and welcome here to Bungie HQ in beautiful Bellevue, Washington.
Hello and welcome to Fireteam Chat, Andy's Destiny show. All right, so they kind of just do their intros. And then...
In the simplest description possible, the Nine are extraordinarily powerful beings that have been in the solar system for way
from the trailer we just saw?
longer than the
Oh, yeah, I
Traveler.
think so.
We can think of them as being kind of connected to each of the...
But yeah, I don't know a
celestial
ton about the
bodies in
Nine, but
Sol. So that's each
they've been
of our
around forever
8
and have
planets
different,
plus
like,
the sun.
powers. Is the short of it. So then, what was this? Same thing, maybe. Let's see what they run.
Extra dimensional in the ways that Allison are describing. They're not bound by the same rules that we.
Yeah, different powers, new options, new things.
Itself is going to leave you with more questions than answers, and it's going to be the catalyst into this new multi-year saga because it's going to play out over
Didn't get a
several
chance to
years.
look at that.
And ultimately, we know where we're driving this car. We know where we're going with it. But the conclusion of the Edge of Fate itself is going to leave you with more questions than answers, and it's going to be the
They're
catalyst.
showing this with the conclusion of Edge of Fate. I'll stop calling it that. But that doesn't mean this is from then, but...
into this new
They
multi-year
did plan
saga
it.
because we really want to return Destiny to being a game about big questions, right? And so the way we think about this is about pouring jet fuel into the speculation engine of the game. So we're going to be revealing a lot of ideas, a lot of concepts, and many of them we're not going to be answering immediately because we're going to be telling the story over multiple expansions, and we're going to be giving you those expansion beats more times than we have before in the past. And so the Year of Prophecy kicks off with the Fate Saga, and with it, humanity is now set on a collision course with this celestial pantheon of the system that has been here for a very, very long time. And so the Edge of Fate launches on July 15th. And then the second expansion of our Year of Prophecy is Renegades, which comes this winter. And then later in 2026,
Should we find out later? That's December.
we've got Shattered Cycle and The Alchemist. It's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the way they did this, by the way. Good job from the graphics team and production team on this one. But I did find it a bit confusing the way they presented all of these names. Actually, oh no, now I'm seeing it. Okay, so Shattered Cycle is Behemoth. Okay, I thought they were naming some of the... I didn't see the Summer 2026 thing, so...
A lot of exciting beats. And so, again, the Edge of Fate is just the beginning of this long...
Oh, so they do, you know, they do already have the name and plan for next year. That's good. Yeah, I missed this, so... Shattered Cycle and The Alchemist, okay.
2026.
Hey, Weebles, yeah, we just got started. We're not watching the whole thing, but it's just
and then
like
the second expansion of our year of prophecy
seeing
is
what I missed.
Renegades, which comes this winter. And then
Footage.
later in 2026, we've got Shattered
didn't
Cycle
really get a
and
close look at
The
that.
Alchemist.
Shattered
It's a lot of stuff.
Cycle and
Yeah,
The Alchemist.
a lot of exciting beats. And so, again, the Edge of Fate is
Okay, is The Alchemist going to be another licensed thing? What would that be? Harry Potter.
just the beginning of this long journey of this awesome vehicle we're all jumping into and driving together, and it's going to take us to some new places.
That's exciting. So with regards to the Edge of Fate right here in front of us, you were also nice enough to bring the class something today. You've got some gameplay with you,
Oh
right?
yeah, we got some clips.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we should show those off.
It's a
Let's
doozy.
Let's check it
I
out.
like the present. Let's check it out.
Spider-Man trailer, anybody?
Observe,
Speaking of it.
conceal. Guardian, I had a vision. Conform.
Why is the volume lower on this stuff?
They just wanted to show us disasters.
Hold on.
Observe, connect.
That's weird. They're just playing the trailer lower as part of production on accident. It's fine.
Easy.
Let's check it
I
out.
like the present. Let's check it out.
Observe, connect, conceal. Guardian, I had a vision. Conform, comply, return. They just wanted to show us disasters. Observe, connect, conceal. I'm not human anymore. Return, conform, comply.
I liked the look of rotating platforms. It always makes Fran happy.
Feels like
By the way, speaking of Metroid, boy, they really went all in. The inspirations. Sort of reflect rocket for the puzzle, I guess.
enough. Terminate your suspicion, Commander. Remove your scornful blindfold. Observe. Connect. Conceal. Conform.
Yeah, that whole like Metroid Prime thing. Oh. I mean, I've been asking for that type of thing for years. I guess I finally got it. I think there's actually a Fireteam Chat episode of me saying, why don't they just do that, like in Metroid Prime? Actually, I need to find it, by the way. It's not like this is, you know, my idea, but there legitimately is, if you're not aware. I very often would use Quadraxis for Metroid Prime 2 to illustrate my point, which is a boss where you fight in Metroid Prime 2, I believe. But I was just like, I like to hit weak points, I like to do that stuff. And I feel like I even said, I'm like, and also you roll up in a ball, man. Like, why not? Like, do some stuff like that. Have some fun, you know. But, well, we finally got it. Exciting. Let's see. One thing that's, well, let's see. A couple things with this footage, what I would say. Let's watch some of that again.
You've got some gameplay with you,
Oh
right?
yeah, we got some clips.
I would say the first time I saw it, though, it does still just wash over me so much. As Destiny 2 is, you know, it's like a new location and all, but just like the style and everything. Like, of course, I'm just like, well, it's some more like Kel stuffs and this stuff stood out a bit more. The platforms, the morph ball stuff, and then the Metroids right there, obviously. Yeah. And that anywhere where there's more like interaction puzzle stuff. So I like to look at that stuff. As soon as it goes back to this, I'm like, well, obviously it's still Destiny. Not that there's, you know, anything wrong with it. It's just hard to spark that new, like, ooh. But there was these shields. What was that? Oh yeah, those. Yeah. How do I get to those? 11:15. Yeah, I mean, so is that like a new enemy type, huh? I haven't really carved through it, but cool. Good if so. I do like the look of the armor and stuff there too. I mean, if that's what it is, yeah, that looks pretty neat. I like the look of that. I wonder if that's part of the raid. That's probably just part of the campaign. Yeah, no, Weebles, I'm not saying that was my idea exactly. Like, literally, it's not my, it's Nintendo's idea. But they literally, you know, they're intentionally being inspired by that. I'm just saying I'm really glad. The point was, I was like, we need to add more of this type of stuff. Like, I like weak points. I like gameplay interaction stuff. I like putting my hand in a door, you know, and, you know, yeah, inserting like, you know, your gun and spinning it into the door. Obviously, that's if you're Samus. But that type of interaction is always a lot of fun. So I'm glad to see them taking some inspirations with some of that, maybe. Yeah, what is that? Maybe just like a cannon you pick up in the world. Yeah, I don't think that was a special type of weapon or anything. Yeah, it's like a scorched cannon style thing. It's like a new like Rite of the Nine cannon. That's what I figured. And then it's like a little puzzle thing to get past all the barriers there. That's nice. I'm gonna do one more pass of this too, and just look at the way the guns strike me as well.
Your suspicion, Commander. Remove your scornful blindfold.
And the enemies.
Observe, connect, conceal,
That's so crazy. Just straight out of Metroid Prime. Really awesome, actually. I love that they're doing it. I hope they go like full on, like, I hope they have like a side, you know, scrolling puzzle. Like that's what made the Metroid Prime stuff cool. Your camera would actually change, which was like, especially at the time, you're like, this was some wildly well-presented camera on rails tech, you know? All right, let's take one more look at the enemies and the guns.
Let's check it out.
Yeah, again, I've already watched this, but a lot of it was out of the corner of my eye, so I just don't even remember. It's been a blur today.
Guardian, I had a vision. Conform, comply, return. They just wanted to show us disasters. Observe, connect, conceal. I'm not human anymore. Return, conform, comply.
Yeah, I really hope in terms of exploration and opening up the world and stuff that it's enjoyable. Yeah, that gun looks pretty sick. I like the paint job on that.
Enough. Terminate your suspicion, Commander. Remove your scornful blindfold. Observe, connect, conceal, conform, comply, return.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so like that. A big issue is it looks like there's sort of one new. I guess we'll see the enemy class stuff. What's that stuff at the end with the? Yeah, I was looking at that. Is that like a glimpse of old Chicago or something, maybe? It's like darkness ships attacking somewhere. That's cool. Skyscraper falling over on another building. I wonder if that could be old Chicago or something.
All right, that gives us an awful lot to go ahead and continue to dive into. And here to help us go ahead and explore a little bit more of it, everyone, you probably noticed we've been joined by someone new here on the couch. We are privileged to be joined by someone who's the originator of perhaps my favorite all-time Destiny emote, the one and only Dave Samuel, art director here at Bungie. Dave, how's it going, man?
Met him.
It's going great. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. For anyone who maybe for some reason somehow doesn't have that emote in their collection or...
Okay, let's see
Hold your
what else
horse
we got in
moment
here.
Time for a very specific reason.
Very specific purpose.
Very specific reason and purpose, yes. And the place that we're going to is called Kepler. And so you may be saying, now, Allison, hold on. Hold your horses
You read my mind.
second,
Yeah.
because the Kepler I know is the one that's way out.
I like the
outside
color
of
scheme
our
of the planet.
galaxy. What do you mean?
Yeah, it does very much seem inspired by Metroid, like almost like Planet Zebes, maybe. I wonder if that's intentional. I don't remember exactly the color scheme, but like the purple and green is kind of standing out to me. Was what I was thinking. I was trying to remember if let me see. Where could I find a shot of that? Just curious. Yeah, I mean, it's got a lot of these like really bright, colorful schemes. Now I think about it, it's not. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of purples and greens and stuff.
We're
like
going to
that.
Kepler, and I say, like, dear friend, didn't you know if you look inside
It's
in
definitely
Destiny's
some
universe,
direct
the Oort
Metroid
planet
inspiration,
at
which
the
is
edge
really
of the
nice,
solar
though.
system, you'll find a little planetoid that also happens to be named Kepler here in the world of Destiny, and that's where we're going, to Kepler.
Super exciting. This is kind of a, Robbie, we were talking kind of before the show. This is like like a first taste of something new, right?
Yeah, so what you're seeing here is us just trying something new. We're expanding the universe of Destiny, creating new mysteries to uncover. This whole destination is about exploring a labyrinthian world that...
What's going on? Been a while. Hey, Terra Master. Yeah, again, I've already watched this, but not. Maybe watched is the wrong word. I've listened to a lot of it, seen some of it.
It took inspirations from
So
things
now
like
I'm like
Dream
really
City,
trying to be like,
exotic
oh,
missions,
okay.
dungeons, and it's wrapping it
Right,
all
right, you know?
through a Metroidvania expired experience.
Speaking my
And so
language
at the
with
heart of all
Metroidvania.
this, at the heart of the Edge of Fate is a player-driven exploration and discovery of an exotic world with brand new abilities.
So actually to even just maybe dig a little bit deeper, like how is the Edge of Fate going to be different from past expansions that we've made for Destiny?
Yeah, so at the global scale, when we're thinking about expansions in the Year of Prophecy and the formula of Destiny expansions going forward, first off, we're doing 2 expansions a year instead of just 1. And think of each of these expansions as a little bigger than something like a Rise of Iron from D1. And so...
A little bigger than a Rise of Iron, man. It is such an old reference. What, Plague Lands and like Wrath of the Machine? Is that right? Can't remember at this point.
Both of these expansions combined are going to be even more expansion
The
content.
frick is
than we've
going
done in
on with the
past.
rocket
And
tiers?
First off,
Oh,
we're
wow.
doing 2 expansions a year instead of just 1. And think of each of these expansions as a little bigger than something like a Rise of Iron from D1. And so both of these expansions combined...
That's cool, yeah. That's like straight up Metroid
are going
Space
to be
Pirates
even
as
more
well.
expansion content than we've done in the past. And by delivering 2 of these a year, we're upping the pace of
Oh,
major world
Corsairs.
and story
Oh,
events
sweet.
that really matter to players and are going to be pushing the Fate saga forward. And so we're trying radical new things with each of these expansions. And so
That's nice to
alongside
see.
this new destination of Kepler, this exotic world that players will explore with brand new abilities, we also have world tiers. And world tiers allow you to take
Oh, yeah, the
on,
world tier
a
stuff
higher
I
level
was
challenge on
definitely
the
interested. I was like, oh,
destination
that's
in order
interesting.
to attract some of the best
What do you have to do
loot,
to grind up to that, though?
within the release. But what's cool about world tiers is as you play through the mainline story and you play through the first couple of world tiers, you're going to unlock later world tiers. And as you're claiming these abilities, as you're exploring the world more, as you're discovering more within the release, you're putting these puzzle pieces together.
Yeah, Wheels. No, I didn't forget. I mean, they have a new social space every expansion, don't they?
And you're figuring out how to
Oh,
solve
because I was
all the
listing
mysteries
off
on
what was
Kepler
in.
with
I see
different
why you
ways.
said
And
that,
so
okay.
you might play a
Yeah, no,
puzzle in
for
one
sure.
way, a mission in one way, and when you're in these higher world tiers in the post game, you can start to solve these problems in different ways that you couldn't before in the original playthrough.
gonna listen
And
to that
so
part again.
you're putting these puzzle pieces together, and you're figuring out how through the first couple of world tiers, you're going to unlock later world tiers. And as you're claiming these abilities, as you're exploring the world more, as you're discovering more...
Claiming abilities, again, like a big thing that I've wanted and brought up a lot. I'm curious, like, I feel like the closest they got to that was in, the one season with the, I always bring it up. It wasn't Season of Haunted. It was, maybe it was, you know, with the other Ascension world where we were unlocking, like, skill tree powers.
the
So
release,
close on that
you're
one.
putting these puzzle
Probably what
pieces
they're doing.
together, and you're figuring out how to solve all the mysteries on Kepler
Hope
with
so.
different ways. And so you might play a puzzle in one way, a mission in one way, and when you're in these higher world tiers in the post game, you can start to solve these problems in different ways that you couldn't before in the original playthrough. And so alongside all of this, we're also going to have a ton of quest content that we're rethinking about how we use within the game. And so on Kepler, there's some non-linearity within the
Yeah, by the way, when I heard World Tiers, I mean, I just immediately thought of, the game, one of the games they were inspired by, which is Diablo. So I just assume it's more, like that. But they do say it seems like it's either abilities within certain World Tiers or just how you unlock it. They made it sound like you need to get to, new World Tiers to unlock certain things. So ability-wise, I wonder if
the
that's how they
destination itself. And
Yeah,
so
unlock
it's with a lot
I
of
don't
our
know
side
what.
quest content that is related to the critical path, but you don't have to play it. It's there for you to explore. It's driven by your discovery of the world. You're out in the field, you discover something, and you pick it up, and that's going to help you explore the characters and the world of Kepler more and go deeper on that.
Been a while. You still meal prepping? You know it. I don't even consider it meal prepping. Meal prepping if you count cooking things in a batch that I just eat the same thing on sort of cycles because it's time and cost and health related. Yeah. Yeah, we made some banana bread and some Ninja Creamy ice cream. Well, I froze some milk basically when I got home. Tomorrow, basically, I'm worried, as an example of food prep stuff, I'm worried about tomorrow because I have to be at jury duty and I'm not going to get home till late and I'm out of prepared food. And they shipped me frozen chicken breasts from the store there, but just debating if I'm going to have enough time to I think what I'll do, I'm just going to dump them. They're probably good enough to just throw in the slow cooker, I guess, mostly. Hopefully unthawed by tomorrow is what I'm thinking. And then, it's not exactly how I do it, but it'll be fine. It'll be better than not having anything.
Story. And so,
That'll be
again,
fun.
this is all about us just looking at the formulas that we've been
Probably that.
building in Destiny over the last 10 years.
I gotta do that
And some of
tomorrow
them
morning
are really
or
strong,
tonight.
but they're due for some experimentation and some radical changes. And so that's what you're seeing here with the first taste of the Edge of Fate.
Very cool.
Yeah.
What about you? Been a while?
I
Any,
love everything you just said. I was a
any of
little
that yourself?
distracted by some of the gameplay we were showing, exotic sniper rifle, I think I saw. Kind of recognize that.
Oh, yeah.
Some
No
enemies
and
with a
beyond.
couple really cool twists. Okay.
Yeah.
But then also there was a Guardian that turned into a lightning ball. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's multiple new abilities that your players are going to be able to discover on Kepler that's going to make them navigate and look at the world in different ways. But the one you're talking about, Dylan, we see it as our premier ability, the crown jewel to release, and that's called Matterspark. And Dave has joined us, and he's helps us take the vision of the narrative and the design and the art and smush it together in amazing experiences. And so I think Dave should talk to us more about Matterspark.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. So there's this new source of energy on Kepler, this strange dark matter. So the Guardian binds.
Guy's funny. He's fun. You meal prep every week. Been a while. All the same reasons. You don't eat all kinds of shiz. Nothing wrong with that, depending on how you do it. But yeah, it's a lot about time. But also, if I don't have food, then yeah, I'm just more likely to well, I don't know anymore. It's been so long. I guess, yeah, if I don't have reliable food and therefore the plant, I'm likely to just open a box of Triscuits. And best case scenario, yeah, I would have frozen deep fryer type stuff and throw that in the oven. If I was spending money, then I would just order something,
itself
which is
to
a terrible
the dark
idea.
matter using the
Are you trying to get
arc
gains
powers,
as well?
within. You can
good.
think of the
That
dark
certainly
matter
helps
as
with that.
medium, and the arc as this catalyst that will allow you to completely change form. Transforming into Matterspark lets
me
you
watch this
squeeze
again.
into tight areas. So the Guardian binds itself to the dark matter using the arc powers within. You can think of the dark matter as like a medium, and the arc as this catalyst that will like allow you to completely change form. Transforming into matter spark lets you squeeze into tight areas, race around areas, jump over stuff, and it also allows you to turn into this basically electric rolling ball of death, jolting and shocking enemies that come across your path.
So obviously, one big part movement, one big part combat, but I mean, even just in addition to that, to look a little bit, wider, like how did the Matter Spark Ball kind of influence the world that we're going to be in?
Basically, electric rolling ball of death, jolting
This,
and shocking enemies
super to
that come
activate?
across your path.
So
Let me
obviously,
see
one big
when they
part
first
movement,
activate.
one
Do
big
they show when you first activate it?
Squeeze into medium.
I don't think
and the
they
arc
show you that, do
matter
they?
using the arc powers within. You can think of the dark matter as like a medium, and the arc as this catalyst that will like
Maybe
allow
just
you to
separate
completely
power,
change
actually.
form. Transforming
Yeah, 'cause this is like a
into
different
matter
form
spark
over here.
lets you squeeze into tight areas, race around areas, jump over stuff, and it also allows you to turn into this basically electric rolling ball of death, jolting and shocking enemies that come across your
And yeah, like everybody
So
would have to do
obviously,
it. So yeah,
one
like
big part movement, one big part combat, but I mean, even just in addition to that, to look a little bit, wider, like how did the Matter Spark Ball kind of influence the
you had
world?
to charge that thing up to open
yeah,
it.
the team really
Eddie?
had to rethink what it means to build a destination with these abilities in mind. A simple hill becomes a ramp to get to a new space. A crack in the wall, it basically will reveal a
This
whole
looks
new
cool.
area to explore. It's also a new way to
I was trying to remember. I was like, that's the Devour Nade. And have we seen that as like a gameplay looking mechanic yet? It's funny, they had
crack in
Devour
the
when they
wall.
did that.
It basically will reveal
already
a
had
whole
Devour
new
when they-
area to explore. It's also a new way to engage with
Stabilizing
enemies.
dark matter.
Instead of taking a bunch of enemies head on, you can find a matter spark pad, transform,
Yeah, you just sort of see
turn
stuff.
into this electric ball of death, and then just like start racing around the arena, dash
Oh,
over
I
their
see.
heads, and electric ball of death, and then just like start electric ball of death.
So yeah, maybe you have to get in these to activate it.
And then just like start racing around the arena, dash over their heads, and flank from behind, and then really give the House of Exile on Kepler a bad day.
As well, we should. It's a good day for us as well. So what are some of the other Kepler?
So that is mostly just
the
traversal
arena,
stuff. I'd be
dash
curious if
over
they do
their
any
heads,
puzzle stuff with this.
and flank from behind, and then really give the House of
This is
Exile
great
on
though,
Kepler
like
a
exploring
bad
like
day.
As
a
well, we
location and
should.
just
It's a good day
taking a
for
little
us as
shortcut.
well.
Still be
so what are
fun.
some of the other
Oh,
Kepler
you
abilities
assembled
that
like
we'll
a
be able to
platform
unlock
right there.
while we're out
That's
there
great.
as well?
That I like.
Yeah, so each
Give me
of these
something to
Kepler
do.
abilities
It's a
are a
little
mix
different.
of dark matter and our Guardian's powers. So we have the Relocator Cannon, which is this new fallen dark matter tech mixed with void. This is going to allow you to bypass laser walls, use these cascading relay networks, and just basically teleport around the world. Another ability that we have is Mattermorph. This is dark matter mixed with strand, allows you to manipulate the environment. You'll be able to basically push and morph and move geometry to create bridges, open up doorways, and then also reveal secrets and new opportunities.
Yeah, so
Oh,
what's
look at
really
that. You
important
gotta
about
charge
what
that
Dave
up,
was
too.
describing, and when we were
That's
thinking
great.
about building this world, it was
Yeah, I
all
hope they
about,
have some
like,
fun with
here's
that,
this
you
new
know?
tool
Like,
to navigate
I don't
and
mind
see the
shooting in
world
Destiny,
in a
but
different way,
done
and
plenty of
solve
it.
little puzzles and mysteries throughout the missions, the free roam, and the quest content, and beyond. But also, what was really important to us is that we lean into Destiny's first-class ability gameplay. And so, with Matter Spark, like Dave is mentioning, you're jumping, you're dashing into enemies to destroy them, you're doing giant explosions with them. With the Relocator Cannon, you're just blowing everything up with void explosions and graviton lance style like projectile, little secret projectiles. And then what's really fun about Mattermorph is you can just be like throwing these strange shurikens basically to just like delete an encounter before you then like start to morph the environment around you and move to the next area. And so it's just really exciting I'm incredibly excited about watching players just like solve puzzles and fight encounters in ways that like we don't even expect yet, and see how they take on the destination. And just like I really want to emphasize, you're going to be upgrading these, and when you get into especially the post-game experience, it's going to unlock, there's something unlocks with Matter Spark that really changes the way that you can play through the entire destination.
So when we're talking about dark matter, Matter.
Yes.
We have darkness abilities like Strand and Stasis already. Like, how is dark matter different?
Yeah, so dark matter and darkness are two completely separate things. They're completely
narrative, I
different
guess, but
things. But dark matter does exist in our world. In the world of Destiny, we know it as being tightly connected to the Nine. It's what the Nine substance that's impacted this world so much. It allows us to see how it's impacted
these
the
designs
plant
like
life,
straight
how
up,
it's impacted the
Metroid
behavior
inspiration,
of the
which
peoples
I
that
love.
we're going to encounter.
I like that they're
and we can
theming
see
it
how it has been able to bring
very
these
directly,
things
as we're
that
gonna
are
see
kind
with
of
Renegades
unstuck
as well.
in time
I don't mind.
into this current location.
I do have to put on my drifter hat for just a second and, like, what does it smell like? What is it?
That's Brian Villalobos, who portrays Lodi and does a
Hey, look at that.
spectacular job. This character is
By the way, I did have a few people tweet at me. I don't think this looks like me.
Brian Villalobos,
I saw
who portrays
that
Lodi and
Fallout
does a
Plays
spectacular job.
was being accused of being this guy, and I think Jesse, Power GPU, big time. Big time. But here, let's see. We're going to do our best impression. Let's see. Let's see. What do we think? Anything? Maybe. Maybe a little bit. What's going on? How we doing? Frankie is on the news case. I am. Oh, he looks like the guy that voices him.
This
Yeah.
character is
Does he?
fascinating.
That's good.
He's kind of a fish out of water, but the fun thing about
Looks
tropes
like
is
Glad.
to
It's
kind
so
of
funny.
put a
And that's kind of what I'm getting at. It's funny to hear everyone's like, that's Glad. Do you know, everyone who says it's Glad, do you know who Power GPU is? Because it 100%, or 100, how do I phrase it? It's 200% looks more like Jesse,
spectacular
Power
job.
GPU, than it looks like Glad. Like, it's not even, it's crazy how much it looks like, I think, Jesse. But then again, I mean, people's perspectives are different. I don't think it looks like Glad, actually. I think people are seeing it with the beard, obviously. It looks like Power GPU. Like, more, everyone's like coming up with all these Destiny creator comparisons.
He's kind of a
It's
fish
funny.
out of water, but
What's up,
the
Fran?
fun thing about tropes is to kind of put a twist on
Power GPU tweeted about it. Are you saying Glad
right?
tweeted that
So
he thinks
what
it
if
looks like
that
him?
fish that we pulled out
Glad?
of the water was the most qualified fish to be pulled out into the air?
Down for
Yeah, I know.
It's down for anything.
That's what I was going to respond, Watts. I was like, anytime you see someone with like scruff and dark hair and dark scruff, or maybe like mid-tone skin, especially, like, I get it all the time. It's like, oh my God, it's Fran. But I could see barely with the right haircut, but not his face. His face is definitely different. Anyway,
Brian
we're going to see more.
Villalobos, who
What's this guy's
portrays
name again?
Lodi and does a
Lodi.
spectacular job. This character is fascinating. He's kind of a fish out of water, but the fun thing about tropes
Oh,
is
yeah,
to
that's
kind
right. I
of
saw what
put a
Glad
twist
tweeted.
on them, right? So what if that fish that we pulled out of the water was the most qualified fish to be pulled out into the air?
Lodi.
Down for anything.
It's down for anything.
Very,
and what if
Marvel.
And as it turns out,
How we
in one of
doing,
our
Watts? Hope you had a good day. I saw you were doing
mystery-
some more Expedition 33. I've already told my story a ton, so to speed through it so people know what's going on. I've had a very busy day, but interestingly, did Firebreak FBC hands-on. Can talk about that next week. Went off to jury duty. Saw this reveal, but like off to the side. Now I'm trying to like truly absorb it. Came back. So I didn't watch the GTA 6 trailer yet. Came back, had to cook, make some banana bread, make some ice cream, make some dinner, do the dishes, come back. Here I am. So we'll be reacting to GTA 6 for the first time. This is sort of some first reactions, but I've seen a lot, or watched, observed,
She's kind
and
of
heard
at
a
the
lot of it.
center
It really does look like
She was
Ethan Hawke.
invited
Yeah,
here,
that
as
too.
was
It
Lodi.
does look like Ethan
Same
Hawke
as
to a
we
point.
were.
Well,
All
actually, it doesn't. It's again, no, it doesn't. It's inspired by, I think, that vibe.
of it's kind of
Is why I had that, because of like his sci-fi movies. Is why I
So
said
the
that.
way, if I can,
No, no,
yeah,
please.
no,
Yeah,
yeah,
please,
like
yeah.
the way we think about this is about all these characters, their fates are intertwined in some way. There's these puppet masters that have been pulling the strings for a very, very long time in order for everyone to get here at this moment. And so, as a guardian and these characters involved, they're going to have to decide if they're fight your fate. Like that's what we think about for these individuals. That's what they're going to have to go through and
right.
determine about
What else
how
we
they
got
can
in here
stand up
that
to
was-
this, new conflict.
Oh yeah, so this was Ride of the Nine, which is
I believe
live
we have a
right now.
trailer
Has
show.
anybody
We're nice enough to bring a trailer along.
played
I'd
any
go
of
ahead and
this?
Give it a look really
Yeah.
quickly.
This is live right now, I believe. I really like the music and vibe of this trailer, by the way. They gotta drop the thump. Whatever production house, I like it. It's just been going on for too long. So can't you play each one of these things solo on like an easier mode now with Ride of 9, I think? I mean, if my vault wasn't full, I'd be like, yeah, I'll hop in and try it. I'm not kidding either. I'm not trolling. They didn't address any of this in the game. They skirt around it. So we'll see what they have to announce, or I might have missed stuff, but
All right, so that's Ride of the Nine, which is
like it's live right now, and like I'm being real. I'm like, oh, I'll maybe hop in, and like I think right, you can play Ride of the Nine. Like there's a solo easier mode, I believe, right? Kind of again like an experiment. I think what's coming up, is that right? But I'm serious that I'd be like, oh yeah, I'd hop on maybe, and then I have no idea how I would do that. I'm pretty sure like my dim is insanely full. I was trying to see if I had it open right here. Yeah, let's check, just for posterity's sake. Yeah, I'll be able to go through and delete some armor. That's not really going to solve the problem, but it will help delete stuff. I have stuff to delete. I probably got a good 150 things I could delete. I already have armor I can delete. But yeah, at least like in that, I don't know why this isn't refreshing, but it must be a Firefox issue right now. Yeah, that's all right. Let me see, actually. I do want to see, just for the sake of it. Oh, for Christ's sake. For Christ's sake. Dim sync is not connected due to a problem. That's fine. But I do believe, yeah, I'm like 692 out of 700. Actually, it's not completely out of hand. That's good, actually. All right. Uh-oh. Oh, wait. Am I 688? Oh, boy. Much stuff in the Postmaster, though. I don't know. Tough call.
our
Tough
central
call.
prologue story for The Edge of Fate. And these...
Yeah, again, I'd be clear, and everybody mostly has heard this. I don't want more vault space. I want gear management. And I want, like, a controlling the loot and fixing infusion, you know? Like, it's that you go out, even in here, right? They're like, so you can hop on for 10 minutes and get loot. I'm like, nope, not what I want to do. I just want to play the game.
3 dungeons that are featured in this event.
Dim's been slow all day? Really? Here, wait, before we move on. Had a question I wanted to answer over here. Let me see. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, I was trying to see it's a SteamDB sort of chart today. Well, Right of the 9 and the announcement at least have brought people in. I don't know if Right of the 9 versus just like general hype though. It's too bad they both came out on the same day. It's a good example of where the data's dirty. But it's good to see at least, you know, that it did elicit some excitement. We haven't really had numbers like that since came out, yeah, in March. I guess the latest episode or whatever, right? Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Are free for all players.
But yeah, has
starting
anybody
today.
in chat played
And
Right of the
so
9?
what's really important about this is that these dungeons are both for veteran dungeon crawlers, hardcore raiders. People have been in these places a lot, but also new guardians who have never stepped into a dungeon before, right?
Fran, doesn't the Right of the 9 stuff rotate a bit though? I thought it was like rotating, but
What was really
I've
important
lost some
for
track
us
of
when
it
we were
here.
developing Ride of the Nine was that we were changing the formula on how we can think about how we can welcome even more
I guess they're
even more
describing it,
people
so
into these experiences. And so you're going to be able to go in solo, buffed up, and
Yeah,
explore a dungeon by
see?
yourself, or go in
That's what I was
match-made
saying.
with other fire team members, shoulder to shoulder. For
Like,
the
on
very
that front, I
first
was like,
time.
oh, that's kinda
But
nice, you know?
Don't worry, because we also have that higher level challenge for our veteran, our hardcore dungeon
is very
crawlers, where
much
you're
the
going to be able to
solo
earn the
ops
best
approach.
possible loot, exclusive rewards, and also an exclusive title as part of Rights of the Nine. What's also really important about this event for being a prologue for the Edge of Fate is that it really reintroduces the emissary into the game, and you're going to learn why her job is pretty crappy and why she quits at the top of the Edge of Fate, like we saw.
Oh, that
at
was the
beginning of show.
emissary.
And so, Andy, we've been talking a bunch about how our Destiny expansions are changing the formula for Destiny going forward. So now I think it's time for us to start talking about how the core hobby of Destiny is changing going forward. The day-to-day of playing Destiny, week over week experience. And we've got
Yeah, I mean,
someone
this
else
was
on the
one of the
couch
most
here
important parts to
talk
me.
about that.
We have an expert in that very subject now who has gone ahead and joined us on the couch. We are now joined by the one and only Mr. Ben Womack.
Yeah, I probably
creative
should
director
listen
here on
to this
Destiny.
again.
Ben, how's it going, man?
Hey, I'm doing great. I'm really excited to be here. There's a lot to talk about.
Yeah, seriously.
There is a lot.
Yeah, it's going to be a very good conversation we have coming up.
Yes.
But before we get into that, can you tell us just a little bit about what you do here?
Yeah. So I'm the Destiny 2 creative director for the core game, or the core hobby, as we call it.
Yeah.
And it has to do with all parts of the game, everything from Edge of Fate, through our seasons, through the fundamental systems. And in particular, like Rob was saying, I've been focusing on thinking about the kind of building blocks of Destiny 2 and getting those like not only stood up, but also transformed and iterated on in some really exciting new places.
Nice. Well, let's go ahead and just start at the top. Can you tell us a little bit about what like the core formula of Destiny is changing?
Good
and
move.
why?
Yeah, so I think I need to start with the why first, because it's important to think about what is Destiny, what is great about Destiny. And Destiny is best when you have like awesome chases that you're excited about, you have really cool, powerful builds to make, and there's a mountain to climb that's right in front of you that you want to climb. You're like, I want that mountain, it looks pretty cool. And the thing that is not always true right now in Destiny is like it doesn't feel streamlined as it could. Players don't have as much agency. We want to be player driven, we want to be more.
Yeah, I had already listened to this again, and like this part you'll hear really like, but then they start talking about loot again, and I'm like, wait, you're not going to solve that problem now?
Because right now there are barriers to playing Destiny like in the best way. And those barriers are insurmountable sometimes. So think about that whole picture of, okay, what is the Destiny that we really want, that has been in the past, that we also want to get back to, and where we want to go for the future? That's where all the changes you're going to see have started, like at their inception point. So it's a big piece of the pie.
Massive updates coming across so many systems of the game, and this is like that. We're just getting in, digging into the surface.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, to that same end, then, how are we making it easier? Pardon me, to go ahead and just get straight into the fun.
Oh no, let's do it, because that's exactly what we want to do. Yeah. And the first thing you're going to see when you log into Destiny with Edge of Fate, you're going to log in your character and see your ship in orbit. It's going to say, it's not going to say open director, it's going to say open portal. And the portal is our new front page of the game. We're trying to like get you to the fun as fast as possible and as few clicks as we can. Like we even have Edge of Fate there in the corner, so that it's like right immediately there. No fumbling around with the map to get to it, really. And we're also taking other big parts of the game, the ritual game and for seasons, and putting them into these ops categories.
Yeah, we've seen concepts for this. They got your rank, some quick join playlist right at your fingertips. And then I wonder what happens when you click on Edge of Fate. I forget if they show us here. A seasonal hub. Okay.
So the idea is that we're having these different ops for different moods. We're having solo ops. We have a bunch of fire team ops. We have pinnacle ops. And of course, we have crucible ops, still super important for the game.
Yeah. I mean, to start up at the top, can you tell us?
I would say one thing I noticed here where I was like, okay, well, they've got, other places to go, obviously. But it doesn't say destination. It says world now, huh? Is that a swap? Is it fair to assume? I don't know if they clear that up. But did they change destinations to world, I assume?
A little bit more about what solo ops
Oh, yeah.
entails?
So solo ops is exactly what it
got a
says
quick
on the
ad
tin.
break coming
it
up.
is a bunch of activities that are
Sorry
made
if you,
for
it's only a
solo
minute
players.
if you get hit
And
by it.
The
Happy to answer any
conception point of
questions.
that was we want to make activities for players who have a smaller amount of time that they want to play in, and they don't necessarily want to have like dependencies on other players, but they still want to get in there and play for 10 to 15 minutes. And
Oh yeah, so they do click on fire team ups right there, huh?
Other players, but
that's nice. Yeah, like 20 things in here. Like, this is interesting. Curious how this will.
they still want to get in
This
there and
is
play for 10
totally
to 15
final. I
minutes.
mean, it should be.
and
It's
get
already
some
May,
real
so.
progress.
Yeah, get some loot.
Yeah, get some loot.
Yeah.
Get some loot.
It's just difficulties up top. Strike, hunt, battlegrounds. I wonder how this is going to be organized. Like, is this like weekly refresh stuff? Probably, I guess. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, that is nice. Yeah.
And get your
Nice-ish,
character forward and feel like,
anyway.
yeah, no, I played some Destiny. That was great. And, you know, even if you don't feel like playing with the people.
So I was just looking at the. Is this showing a reset timer? It shows 6 dots, not 7, right? But maybe it's like 1 day's gone by, so it's 3. Does that make sense? No. What is this timer for? Might just be the days though.
Forward and feel like, yeah, no, I played some Destiny. That was great. And, you know, even if you don't feel like playing with other people, that's fine, because we have an activity type that is designed for one player.
Excellent. So, I mean, to that same end, what are some other ways that we can play and have fun using Portal as well?
Yeah, so Robbie actually has a great way of talking about this.
Yeah, some of the North Star that is what we talk about when we were developing the Portal early on was like, where are we headed with this thing? And ultimately, it's play your way. It's giving players more agency, more personal drive to figure out how they want to engage with the power climb and the new progression systems coming in our seasons. And so the entirety new progression and power climb is now all available to you in the Portal at your fingertips in one place. It's really easy to find, really easy to jump in. Anything you play inside of that category is any of those categories is gonna help you make progress. And so, because we want Destiny to be welcoming not only to new players, but also old players who are coming back to the game to join us with the Edge of Fate. And we also want this to be like a new even playing field for everyone. And so, as part of this is a commitment from us as part of the core hobby and all the seasonal content we're building, that we're going to be continually investing in this, right? We're going to be continually updating this over time for years to come. And so, you know, you're asking me directly, like, what else is there to do?
Yeah.
Ben mentioned solo ops. We also have the fire team ops and pinnacle ops. Both of these are more around playing with other fire team members, shoulder to shoulder, where fire team ops are more quicker sessions. There are some longer form things in it too, but then pinnacle ops are more about those really long form or more challenging kind of focused activities like exotic missions, for instance. And so, and then the one thing we haven't talked about yet very deeply, but is incredibly important, and it's something that I think we've done for the first time like ever, or maybe since early D1.
It's kind of a return to form.
Yeah. You're going to be able to experience the entirety of the power climb within Crucible Ops by playing PvP, right? So this means like, if you want to be sweating,
Oh, yeah.
which like I know you, Dylan, too. I know you're that way, right? Like I know both of y'all. Like if you want to put the sweatbands on, you're going to be able to play the entire experience in the season here and earn some of the highest tier loot that's also available.
Hey, fade away. Just different way to look at the playlist, I guess. Yeah.
And here and earn some of the highest tier loot that's also available.
But yeah, I mean, it's way more clear. Like
I have to say,
I will
this is
say,
like-
yeah, the more I
that's also
think
available.
about it, especially for lapsed players, but even for veterans, like just be able to look and read a little more clearly, and we'll see if it's like this on the final, but without having to like hover over. You're still gonna have to hover over, I guess, to get more details. But it just reads better, I think, because like it's just a bunch of red or green icons, you know, and like, so yeah, I think getting away from that type of navigation of the stars is very welcome, you know. Hey, look at that Xbox footage on the PC, I guess.
Entire experience in the season here
Using
and
a
earn some of the
controller.
highest tier loot that's also available
Tisk.
in the game. So,
I have to say, this is like super exciting because like my player type or other folks out in the community, like they want to go in, they want to jam on PvP, but then their friends invite them to do a dungeon or a higher tier activity, and they're like, oh wait, I need to grind a long time to get up to power. Now through PvP, they can get up to power, and you can just bring them into that PvE experience and have a fun time with each other.
Yeah.
So.
I'll say I'm trying to process the you're spending some time on this, and it is valid, especially as you feel like you're making progress. Probably there more than anywhere, but I'm like, with Fireteam Power, it's like, well, it's been really solid in that sense.
That's honestly how I primarily played D1, so I'm really looking forward to that. So it sounds like the core, obviously, of what you guys are talking about, play the way you want to play. It's
Yeah.
sort of the
Yeah,
center of
just
all of it.
cleaning
What if
that
I
up.
really want to challenge myself, push myself?
Oh, yeah.
a little bit
Oh,
more?
yeah.
That's important to us.
Yeah. So
Death. That's
Yeah.
important to us.
death, but also success.
Yes,
and
that's
creation
true.
from it,
That's
right?
true, yeah.
Yeah, and so we really want to give agency. That's one of the things, player driven towards loot and challenge. And so we have a really hugely expanded activity customization system. We have a lot more difficulty levels, and we have a ton of new modifiers. We have 50 new modifiers along with all the old modifiers
Roland.
that we've
By the way, I do feel like
customization system.
this is
We have
going
a lot
back
more
to,
difficulty level.
if I'm not mistaken, back to Destiny 1, I think Roland has appeared. I forget where it first started appearing, but I believe it's Dark Tower reference. But
And we have a ton of new modifiers.
I'll take
We have 50
a
new
I'll take
modifiers
a
along with
season themed after that.
all the old
I mean,
modifiers
Destiny already has
that
some of
we've,
those,
that we've released in
I
the
think,
past
inspirations
that are gonna
somewhere in there,
make
but-
this big curated web of options for you to experience any of the PvE content in the curator. And so, like, we have Banes, not just old Banes that we have, but new Banes as well. We also have boons to help you like get advantages in your activities and for your build. We have challenges and trade-offs. And the fun part is you're going to get these different combinations that are available, and you're going to then make a mix that's actually going to change the way you play and be pretty interesting, and sometimes be the way you prefer you play. Like, there's a new boon called Grappler that I personally love. It's kind of my preferred way to play, where they give you 3 grapple grenades replacing your current grenade. You can't do the melee, but they recharge super fast. So any build you want, you could now Spider-Man around any map. It's actually super fun.
It's so fun. Yeah, and I mean, like, what's at the heart of what Ben is talking about is what we kind of call.
And the fun part is you're going to get these different combinations that are available.
Just wanted to look at them
like,
clicking through that again one more time.
Hugely expanded activity customization system. We have a lot more difficulty levels. And we have a ton of new modifiers. We have 50 new modifiers along with
Yeah,
all
it's basically, it's almost like the Fireteam Finder. They spun into
the old
doing something like this
modifiers
as well.
that we've
I
released
see.
in
So
the
it had
past.
match
They're
made,
gonna-
or you switch to customize. And then behind my cam is just showing like primary rewards. I'll show you in case you can't see it.
this
But
big curated web of options.
whoops. What? Oh, I had to fix that. Sorry, hold on. Hang on. Where is my camera group here? Getting this out of the way. Sorry. Where is my... What the what? Sorry, I'm missing something in my... 1 second, please. Just something is missing here. Apologies. Sub goal. It ain't that. It's this, isn't it? Oh, I put it up at the top. That's right. I put it in the top center. Derp. Make it easier to move the cam. Anyway, yeah, I was just trying to show you what's going on over here, so you can.
The curator. And so, like, we have Banes, not just old Banes that we have, but new Banes as well. We'll the boons to help you
there's
like,
like
get advantages in your activities and
a lot of
your
different
build.
buffs
We
and
have
stuff
challenges
coming
and
up.
trade-offs, and the fun part is you're going to get these different combinations that are available, and you're going to then make a mix that's actually going to change the way you play and be pretty interesting, and sometimes be the way you prefer you play. Like, there's a new boon called Grappler that I personally love. It's one of my
your
we
build,
just talked
tinkering
about.
with the activity, looking at like how you can earn a higher tier of reward by taking on higher challenge. And as you earn better loot, you're looking towards that next mountain to climb just ahead of you all the time. And so this is really about how far you want to push yourself upwards within the portal itself. But also, we also are thinking about the people, and that's the depth, right? That's the depth of the challenge that we're talking about. That's also, but we're also thinking about the people who don't have as much time to play with like solo ops, and also if you're scared of modifiers or you're scared of customizing these activities,
or you just don't feel like
doing it. Yeah, no, that's a great way to describe it. Thank you. We have a bunch of quick play options, right, Ben?
Yeah, quick play options, and we actually have matchmaking and Fireteam ops. And we have Fireteam Finder, and so you're able to like really choose kind of what you're in the mood for.
Oh yeah, we technically have matchmaking across every activity that exists.
Except for solo ops, because that's solo.
Right.
But yes,
Otherwise,
otherwise,
but in the
aside
Fireteams
from
and
that
Pinnacle
one.
Ops, it's everything.
Yeah, you'll have options to play by yourself or with other people. Oh, actually, a really fun part is you can play a strike by yourself as hard as you want it to
That's
now,
true, yeah,
which is really fun. Yeah.
Well, you're talking about like all the different boons and combinations. I think at one point you were saying around 50 or something like that. Those
50 new
apply.
ones.
50 new ones.
Yeah.
So it's like you can take those into solo ops. Like we're talking about this being kind of leisurely, bite-sized activity, but if you want to take it and say, I don't want Weenie Hut Jr., I want like esoteric level solo hardest thing in the world, like you can kind of customize and do that.
You can just do it from the very start if you really want to.
Yeah.
And
Depends on how deep you want to go.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah, and the point is that you're going to like stretch that far, and we want the reward to feel like worthwhile.
Yeah. Yeah, you want to feel like as you're pushing yourself, you are rewarded for it. That is something that's really important to the vision.
And yeah, I mean, I haven't reacted to the power stuff yet because I already saw some of this.
For the portal. Yeah.
Rewards.
I was sort of fully processing if we're
there
going
are a lot of rewards. aren't
back to
there?
100 here.
Yeah,
to
you mentioned
reset it looks
things,
like.
boons, modifiers, but let's talk about gear for a little bit here.
Yeah.
What's changing about loot and why should Guardians care?
Yeah, so like talking about chases and mountains and builds, like gear's at the center of all of that. And we actually have two giant gear changes I'm gonna like put in two little buckets for us to talk about.
Yep.
The first one is Armor 3.0, and the next one is gear tiers. And so like talking about Armor 3.0 first, we are probably making the biggest change ever since Shadowkeep
It's
around
huge.
the system. It's
Yeah,
enormous.
It's a huge change.
Yeah, so like we're adding set bonuses, which is a long requested feature for all the new armor that you're going to be able to get at Edge of Fate launch, and we're redoing all the stats on armor where they can now like exceed 100.
Go beyond 100.
Go beyond 100 for extra bonuses.
Yep.
We're going to every single piece of new legendary armor that drops is going to have all the energy filled in, so you can build crafting right away.
Hey, I wanted to see that. Well, I guess
And
you're going
it's
to show it
it's
again.
going to essentially
Just showing some of the armor set bonus stuff. 2 pieces and 4 pieces, I see.
like. There's more features actually that I could talk about, but I don't think I'm allowed to yet.
Fair. Well, something that we can talk about too. You mentioned gear tiers
What's up, Brig?
as well.
We're a marathon.
Let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so gear tiers
on the
are very
back burner
exciting.
today.
Every single legendary weapon and armor that you can get is going to have 5 gear tiers, starting from 1 going up to 5. And like we have a 5 gear tier 5 piece of legs armor on the screen right now, and you can see that like this is like looks really cool with the iconography, but it also has a ton more stats. And oh look, what's that?
So 4 pieces, once per activation of Force Converter, sprinting while at critical health, being suspended or being slowed by a stasis effect will immediately grant speed booster. After a final blow with any rocket launcher or grenade launcher, sprint for a short time to gain speed booster. See, they have, they added these little dots for the set bonus. What's up, Zez and Izzle?
That,
Yeah, what's going on with the energy there?
Yeah, their energy.
Ben?
Yeah, that energy says 11,
Ah,
and
that's
it's
what it
true.
11, yep.
It's not a typo. Like energy is going to 11 for higher tier armor, and so if you want that for your build crafting opportunities, it does like give you some new options you never had before. You're gonna have to challenge yourself to get more higher tier armor and keep on going to get yet more higher tier armor to get those options.
Yeah. And this is also not something that's just relegated to armor, right? When it comes to weapons, they're obviously getting their own refresh as well.
Yes,
What's Destiny without chasing some?
You read
hot
my mind.
weapons?
Yeah, like weapons
seriously.
are part of the player identity. You know, some people like have a gun that they love.
You got fashion, and then you have gunplay.
That's
right?
true, though we do have fashion for your guns a bit now.
Hey.
well, so because once you reach tier 5 for your legendary drops, you're going to be getting tier 5 weapons, and those have unique shader treatment. It's like essentially a completely different look that's going to immediately identify it to you and others that this is the highest tier gear of this drop that you can get. It's going to show on the weapon. It's going to show on the icon. It's even going to show when you kill enemies with that weapon, because there's unique kill effects for tier 5 weapons that you can.
Oh, I see. Yeah. So this is, I see. That's the tier of the item. Yeah. It's a nice looking gun.
different look that's going to immediately identify it to you and others that this is the highest tier gear of this drop that you can get. It's going to show on the weapon, it's going to show on the icon, it's even going to show when you kill enemies with that weapon, because there's unique kill effects for tier 5 weapons that you can turn on or off if you don't want it, but your gameplay will like show that, no, yeah, the weapon that is being used is like the highest tier you can get.
Yeah, Giver's Blessing, which I think we have on screen right now. This is one of the Kepler auto rifles, and I cannot put this thing down.
Hey, Tattooed. No, I've
yeah,
not
when
seen
we're playing,
GTA 6 trailer yet at all yet.
right now. And it's what's
That'll be
really
my
exciting
first
about it for
reaction.
me is that like when you see
With
that
whatever's going
tier
on with
5
that
drop, like you know
after
immediately
this.
that's better than like a tier 3 or tier 4 weapon that you have, right? And I think that's when we talk about making Destiny easier to just jump in, find the fun, make it accessible, but also create more depth.
Yeah.
You know, this is what we're thinking about. It's like how can we just make immediate, like you understand, like okay, this is probably better than the thing I have right now, depending on what gear tier it is.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good example of how much time and effort is being put into these game systems to make them more like approachable.
What up, Raven?
Change can be scary. There's a lot of change that's about to come to the game. We're Armor 3.0. We have so many new boons. We have a bunch of new stuff.
Dude, change is not, I don't know. Anybody who's playing Destiny, I assume change is not scary. You're like, please, just change something. But no, I mean, I am excited that they're addressing a lot of these core systems and talking about it so much. Like, I always remind folks that Lightfall was one of my most played times because of just, part of it was, you know, the timing, but also, frankly, that they just got rid of all the affinity crap on armor. They had, you know, Strand was a lot of fun. Yeah, we got Strand in there, right? And a number of other, like, systems, loadouts, all of that stuff. I was like, oh, my God. Zeznizzle, yeah, there is basically 2 expansions per year now. So if you haven't heard the really interesting one, we're about to see it. The one that's coming out in December, if you've not heard, that would be a nice little surprise for you if you stick around for 5 more minutes or so. But yeah, they're doing 2 expansions a year, but you know, different.
So, I mean, we're going to have
size
blog content.
of what's
We're going to
there,
have interviews
obviously.
with Robbie, with Ben, with more folks across the team that have been working.
Zeznizzle saying they're not abandoning it entirely for Marathon. I mean, I would say they didn't abandon it at all for Marathon in the sense, okay, yes, there were Destiny developers who worked on it that wanted to work on a new game, I think, or got reassigned. But they've had a lot of layoffs and downsizing and, you know, like meaning in theory, if Bungie could spend all the money they wanted, they would have done exactly what they did at the pace they were doing, and they just wouldn't have laid people off, and Destiny would have had just the same exact giant team that it had as before. But, you know, it's more about how much money they're making and that. So
on this, and then we'll also be elevating our creator community.
They don't make as much money on this.
Guides, all that kind of stuff. It's going to be.
I mean, they make plenty, but
ultimately, a big shout out and thank you to all the folks that have been coming into our studio,
the
giving
game
feedback
that is,
early
you know,
on some of these systems, so they can be more approachable. And we're looking forward to all the feedback that's going to be coming after launch too. Like this is again one of our first steps into something, and then the community and we are going to build something amazing.
Yeah, and I can't stress enough how much feedback we've gotten from the community summits we've been running over the last year for the Edge of Fate, and just people reaching out to the community teams and others to us. Like your feedback is invaluable. So like seriously, like thank you so much. We're making this game together ultimately.
Yeah, it's incredibly important part of the process. Like I don't think we would be able to make what we do without it.
Yeah. Working with the community is obviously a core part. Dylan, huge thanks to you and your team, obviously, for helping to lead that charge. And in advance for the big blogs you get to write. And then also our social media team will go ahead and get out the door, so go ahead and give us a follow.
I think, Ben, you were saying you wanted to try to break the record for longest twid?
I'm more predicting we are.
Yeah.
No.
Well, it's not about try, it's just the state of things.
It's going to be
Here, I got an idea. Don't only update on Thursday with a giant one. I mean, I don't know how they solve this because it takes a lot. Like, they got to approve everything and get it all written up. I'm like, man, those giant twids. I'm like, it's so much.
Multi-month journey as we head towards launch.
So spread those out somehow.
Yeah. But, you know, we've been talking a lot about the core Destiny hobby.
No easy
how
way
does that
to do
extend
it.
into like how players are going to experience like a full year of Destiny?
Yeah, so we've been focusing on improving and changing the formula of Destiny in multiple ways. And so progressing through the Fate Saga is going to be more meaningful with 2 expansions a year. We've been talking about how focusing our seasons and on the core hobby of Destiny and that commitment to continually updating it.
Few people
And in
come back from an ad break
We're going
here.
to have 2 free major updates between each of our major
Let's take a closer look at
coming,
this. I think this is in their
and so
article
ultimately
as well.
that means there's 4 big beats happening in a year, 2 expansions, 2 free major updates between.
We'll listen to that part again for those who were not here, but I wanted to check as well. I believe, yeah, of course, it's just all nicely laid out in here. Yeah, the whole paid versus not paid thing is always that one's always fun to look at. But for those of you who got an ad break, we'll roll through this little roadmap thing one more
so
time.
we've been focusing on
And
improving.
again, yeah, I haven't watched the
Destiny
GTA
in
6
multiple
trailer.
ways. And so
I don't know
progressing
even
through
anything
the Fate
about it.
Saga is going to be more meaningful with 2 expansions a year. We've been talking about how focusing our seasons and on the core hobby of Destiny and that commitment to continually updating it. And in addition, we're going to have 2 free major updates between each of our major expansions coming in the year of prophecy and beyond. And so
yeah, maybe we'll look at the TWID for this, but it's still like what they already said before. This looks cleaner though, that's for sure. It's obvious, it's way more obvious what's going on now. But 2 expansions, but there are 4 season rewards passes. There aren't season passes. Then they have a major update within each expansion. It's not too bad once you like wrap your head around it. They even have done a better job of defining what that is. I mean, it is interesting that within here, and they talk about it, but it looks like their format going forward is, and I think they had already said this basically, but to see it laid out, it's like, well, you're going to get a new expansion and there's going to be a new raid and then there's going to be a dungeon, but the dungeon is in the 2nd expansion, I think. So it's still 1 raid a year, but then it's only 1, which we did know, it's only 1 dungeon per year, but there's going to be more focus on that. And I think thematically, you'll see that come together nicely as like, this is the expansion of the dungeon. And this one was the raid. And like, depending on how you play, that's not all bad. I like both raids and dungeons, I personally don't need a raid every 6 months, but yeah.
So ultimately, that means there's 4 big beats happening in a year.
Oh yeah, and they're going to refresh the meta every, major update. So mid life cycle of each expansion, that was a big thing too. Like we want to have this major kind of into the light moment, so to speak.
2 expansions, 2 free major updates between those expansions. So what that means we're not doing is paid seasonal content anymore. We're not doing separate seasonal storylines. This also means we're not building a bunch of activity content that basically just goes away and is less meaningful to the game after 3 months. So we're instead focusing all of that effort that used to go there instead into building up the core hobby of the game, so the core hobby stays fresh and exciting, year round. And so ultimately, this means no more paywalls for seasonal content, and also these major updates themselves that I'm signposting around right now. The size of them, roughly, and the inspiration for them, we're thinking about is like Into the Light.
Okay. So when you say like Into the Light, for folks that aren't out there, like what for a major update, how big is that? Like how do you encapsulate that?
So when I say Into the Light, a lot of this is like the inspiration of what it was. And with Into the Light came a really cool theme that wrapped around all the new stuff we were building within it, but also a lot of the reprise stuff as well. And also, with it came Onslaught, a new type of activity. It came with reprised exotic missions and a rethinking of how we could do like a rad style event, a raid event with the Pantheon. And so for our first major update coming a few weeks after the Edge of Fate launches, we've got Ash and Iron. Right? And so with Ash and Iron, we're going to be returning to the Plagueland Pantheon. And so for our first major update coming a few weeks after the Edge of Fate launches, we've got...
It's only out a few weeks after? 4227. Yeah, why does he say it like that? Maybe I'm misreading this. This says it's in September, but it comes out in July. Let me listen to that again.
A new type of activity. It came with reprised exotic missions and a rethinking of how we could do like a rad style event, a raid event with the Pantheon. And so for our first major update coming a few weeks after the Edge of Fate launches, we've got...
I mean, he probably just was like, not exactly specific, but it's all right.
Right? And so with Ash and Iron, we're going to be returning to the Plaguelands.
Returning to the Plaguelands, can't wait.
It's going to happen,
Plaguelands, baby.
And so that story is going to pick up from where we left off, from the Edge of Fate, and with it, we're going to have a new activity called Reclaim, a brand new exotic mission.
So a new activity, with the major update, and I like them, what they're talking about there, and like fixing it so it's not like, well, this is just like a throwaway activity for this season. It becomes in the same way that Into the Light launched, like, not Salvation, Onslaught, but Onslaught becomes more of a staple for the year, you know, so Reclaim, this activity, you know, will be more of like, well, now we're introducing Reclaim, and that'll be around and presumably updated as well
During the Plaguelands
over the
campaign.
course of the year.
Happen, baby. And so that story.
What's up, AI? Am I excited to grind new armor all over again? I mean, I don't want my old armor, so if I play Destiny, it doesn't matter to me, because like I'd rather get new stuff, if that makes sense. So I don't mind that at all, if that's the question. But I am not like, look, I'm not the type that's looking to heavily grind Destiny. So that's the other thing. I've changed. I mean, I never quite was, but because of the nature of the game, I was willing to spend lots of time on it early on, and it was just a different thing. Versus like, I have to have the best stuff, if that makes sense. So yeah, no, I just hope that it happens more naturally, where it's like, oh, I hopped in, I was like, you know what? I do want to unlock like level 11 energy, and like, I'm just going to grab it, you know, and like, so we'll see. And Stig, what's going on? No, I've not seen any of the GTA 6 trailer. We're going to do that after this.
Pick up
I have no idea what's going on with that.
The Edge of Fate, and with it, we're going to have a new activity called
We're watching the Edge of Fate.
A brand new exotic mission, new types of pinnacle ops entering that for the first time.
What have I not liked so far with what they've shown? Honestly, like nothing in particular. It's like, I feel like they set the expectation for what this is going to be, and they're now showing exactly that. It looks like more Destiny, but I like that they're taking inspiration from Metroid, one of my favorite games, for Edge of Fate. And other than the fact that, like, you know, it's most of the same enemies with slightly twisted abilities, you know, and like there are some newer stuff in there, like the Corsairs looked cool, but meaning it's not, you'd love it to be a brand new location with like all new enemies, and you never saw like a freaking Vex or Fallen
as well
at
as,
all,
of course,
you know?
what's
But that's not going to happen.
We've got new gear, new rewards, and 2 new exotic weapons as part of Ash and Iron as well. And again, this major update and the season, all the seasonal content going forward is free for all players. All the activity content that exists in the portal, that's free to play.
But yeah, I mean, maybe, well, I might forget to say it this way when I end this, but the thought that I have for now is like, it's good because for a player like me, I do just kind of want to hop in, experience, yeah, like a Metroid Prime Morph Ball, and the new layout hopefully will just make it easier to get in, earn hopefully as well some like new guns, new armor, and have that be a little more like, I've had my fun, it's been 35 hours. You know, if I want to dip in and out when the major update comes, cool, but a lot less on especially the vault management and just like grinding through like 12 versions of the same gun. But I mean, I think it's still going to have some of that, but that's where I start to be like, well, I'm happy to dip in and out. And I think that'll be the other question is like, I don't really like dipping in and out of the seasons the way they happen, but I'll be curious like how a 6-month thing with updates plays out narratively, and like what's the reason to kind of hop in, or are they cool with, like I'm saying, you know, hey, I hopped in, I did like 50 hours, 30 hours, whatever, you know, and then maybe I decide to play one week and just do whatever. Like I'd way rather play Destiny like that than go to the, you know, go to the director, go to the, you know, the apartment, go to the icon, get an update. I mean, I don't know if they're still going to be doing all that too, but yeah.
Very nice. So even to actually go one quick layer.
Oh, DBZ Mike, I'm sorry. I was like thinking why that happened. Brain shut off to the Prime sub. Let's go. 19 months. Thank you for supporting content creators. 19 months Prime subbing. I know you only have one. Every little bit helps. Keep the lights on. Thank you, Mike.
Deeper on seasons as well. What are some of the cool things that we're going to be able to do with the season that's launching alongside the Edge of Fate?
Yeah, Ben has been working on this space for the team for a while now, so I'm going to kick this one to him.
Yeah, so we're trying to make any time the best time to hop into Destiny. Yeah. You know, and one of the ways
you might be answering what I just
want to
brought
invest
up.
in events that are like accelerating the game and enhancing every part of the game, but also bringing new cool stuff. And actually, we've been working on this so long, we actually have some new cool stuff coming before the Edge of Fate.
It's a special little treat.
Yeah, special little treat. So this Friday, you can play a little event, maybe you've heard of it, called Heavy Metal, which is Tanks vs. Briggs, a new PvP mode. It's super fun. I would kind of wish I was playing it right now, I'm not going to lie. But the thing that people at home don't know is we have a new reward. That's a unique thing in Destiny if you invest in this event, if you go and play it. And it is a free-to-play event. So this reward is free to play. It is a new combat vehicle.
It's like Briggs was
sparrow,
just destroying everything.
Combat sparrow, if you will, called the Griffin. And this is a really cool, like, combat-ready vehicle you can take
the Griffin
anywhere you can
looks
summon a
nice.
sparrow. You can summon it and use it to fight your enemies.
It's like they're
And just
preparing
have a
for
really good time.
Renegades
There's
with
some
these
really
as well,
cool,
you know?
There's some really cool.
I
build
honestly
crafting
think
things
that's
with
where this came
this,
out of.
Vehicle that I don't want to spoil right now. Let people
they had
discover,
to-
but I'm super excited for it.
I'm going to make a bet on that one, but I mean, they'll look different in Renegades, as you'll see. If you don't know what Renegades is, nobody spoil it for people in chat who don't know. But I bet you they were like, yeah, we got to get that speeder down, and then let's figure it out, you know. And they're like, you know what, it's done.
Combat-ready
let's just
vehicle
put
you
it in
can
the
take
game now.
Anywhere you can summon a sparrow, you can summon it and use it. To
It was
fight,
ready to
your
go. Like,
enemies.
why
And
hold
just
back,
have a
right?
really good time. And there's some really cool.
Like, look at
there's
it.
Some really cool build crafting things with this.
Look at the
vehicle
handles.
that I don't want to spoil right now.
But it's
Let people
great.
Discover, but I'm super excited for it.
They all thought they were going to ride those skimmers forever. Yeah.
Well, I mean, we've been saying like, what was it? Skimmer is Flash, and the Griffin is Splash.
Hey,
For
there we go.
damn
The
it.
dad joke quota has been met.
We got to get one in.
Absolutely, yeah. But that's not all, right, Ben? Like, you've got more for us, don't you?
Oh yeah. So like I just said, there's more events that
Yeah.
we've been making. There's one that's going to happen right after the launch of Edge of Fate. It's called Arms Week.
So yeah, and just for clarity, if you just hopped in, like I was not watching all 60 minutes of this, but when it came to like the core upgrades and systems, this was the part, especially other than I went through all the gameplay closely, but that I was like, I really want to like pay close attention to make sure I'm hearing it. It is a lot of what they've already said, but to hear and see specifically has been.
And it's a 1 week long event, and you're going to be
definitely
focusing on one weapon archetype.
Absolutely,
Right.
yeah.
Let's see what it is.
But that's not all, right, Ben? Like, you've got more for us, don't you?
Oh yeah. So like I just said, there's more events that
Yeah.
we've been making. There's one that's going to happen right after the launch of Edge of Fate. It's called Arms Week, and it's a 1 week long event, and you're going to be focused.
Oh, I think that's what he meant when he just misspoke. So Arms Week is probably the weeks after is what he meant, but Ash and Iron is in September. So that's probably all that
Absolutely,
happened.
yeah. But that's not all, right, Ben? Like, you've got more for us, don't you?
Okay.
Oh
So
yeah.
Arms
So
Week.
like I just said, there's more events that
Yeah.
we've been making. There's one that's going to happen right after the launch of Edge of Fate. It's called Arms Week, and it's a 1 week long event, and you're going to be focusing on one weapon archetype in Arms Week whenever it comes around. And this one is going to give you a new legendary weapon of that type. It's going to have some volatile mods that are there for the week that are going to be super interesting and fun to play with, and some focusing you can do. But there is a problem when you say this event is going to be about weapons and about using them.
Yeah, you got to have a place to test all that out.
Right, and
Yeah,
so
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
I've
yeah,
been
yeah.
doing that in EDZ this whole time. I'm sure with you.
Zakruda, what's going on? Look at you taking over the screen. How dare you? Is there a New World expansion trailer? Now, is it an expansion or a season, Zakruda? Are you lying? Thank you for that tier 1 sub. Thank you for supporting. Every little bit helps. Zakrudov, the burb with the word in chat. What's going on? Thank you very much again. If there is a new trailer, I haven't even heard. I've been busy, so busy. We're going to watch
But
GTA 6 trailer.
There is a new way now.
There's no new
we have
expansion,
a
that
new
guy.
feature, a long requested feature
Got
that's
him.
being added to the game.
Frickin'
with Arms Week. It is
Goldstein.
the shooting range. And the shooting range is being added to the tower. It is a now permanent addition to the game with the launch of Arms Week. We're not taking it away. And you can go there and you can
This was
try
great to
out
see, obviously.
everything in your kit, everything about your build.
Long
with all sorts of
desired.
simulations of different kinds of enemies and situations. And it's all real damn
I was hoping they were also going to say, we've added post-report to all strikes, all raids as part of this quality of life upgrade too. I don't think we can get that.
numbers. It's like
It's even got a scoreboard.
it's even got a
For
scoreboard
you
right there.
and your fire team.
Yeah, your whole raid team can go down into the shooting range and try out.
It is
See
great,
exactly
though.
How
I
well
mean-
you're going to do for some kind of boss at this range or
I was
with
going
a
to say, yeah,
strategy.
who can do most of the damage, right?
Yeah, well, you're finally going to know.
So we have a rally flag. It's not just a shooting range. Like you can go
I really
beyond
like the
fire
look of
line
that
and use your
gun.
abilities too.
That one's pretty
Yeah,
nice
you
too.
totally can. And like if you wanted to, you could even take in prismatic and pop
Why is
transcendence.
this
and try
running
that
at
out.
24 frames a
And,
second? This one, what's going on with
I think the reason why we're not seeing that right now is because it's a Titan.
Yeah, it's a good soldier.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
they-
haven't
Standing
been
on that
paying
fire line.
attention.
Staying on the
there.
firing line.
All about building that line and standing.
Has this all been 30
A lot of theory
FPS?
crafters are going to have to go ahead and have some upheavals to their Google Docs, I'm guessing. But
This will be a really good tool. Like as we're adding all of these different systems with gear tiering and all of that, you can go in and check those damage numbers in real time. Like how do my stats change? How are these different gear?
Hey, what up, Splash? How's it going? Thanks for joining chat. You mean me? Marathon and Destiny. You know I'm always playing Bungie stuff. But I play a lot of stuff, so I'm never like a
Transcendence and try
Destiny
that out.
main, you know.
And
But
think the
yeah,
reason
it's been
why
fun.
We're not seeing that right now.
It's been
is 'cause
fun to mix
it's
things
good
up
soldier.
with some
Yeah,
marathon.
Standing
and
on that firing line.
Yeah, staying on the firing line.
All about building that line.
But I got to finish Final Fantasy.
A
is the
lot of
point.
theory crafters are going to have to go ahead and have some upheavals to their Google Docs.
For starters.
This will be a really good tool, like as we're adding all of these different systems with gear tiering.
But we'll
and all
definitely be
that,
playing
You can
Destiny
go in and
Marathon
check
in the
those
future.
damage numbers in real time. Like, how do my stats change? How are these different gear bonuses going to affect my gameplay? You can see it in the tower now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And while we're talking about weapons,
Oh yeah, well
one
you.
more
But yeah,
thing, right?
no.
we're
there's
gonna
one
watch
more
that
thing.
GTA 6
So,
trailer
so,
after we get through
there's
these
more
reveals.
Events, of course, there's more events, and the holiday events are coming up. Where Solstice is right around the corner.
This was just like a way to earn like
Solstice time, Destiny too.
gun
And Solstice has some
armor
really cool
stuff.
twists and such that
Or-
we're planning, but I'm not going to talk about that right now. I want to show you all the new hollow foil treatment we
Holofoils.
have for Solstice weapons. So
Yeah, I
here
guess
we go.
it's worth looking at again.
This is the hollow foil treatment for Solstice.
It's very
in
pretty.
2025. It is. It's
so good.
It's amazing every time I look at it.
Yeah.
It is
Ocean and
an
sand.
ocean.
On a
And
gun.
the line, yeah, we put the ocean on a gun. How did we do that? It's beautiful. I love it. And any kind of weapon that drops for this event can.
The year tide
hollow
ate
foil,
Yeah,
no
so
matter
it could
what
be
the
tier 1 or tier 3.
Yeah,
Yeah, any
exactly.
weapon can have the hollow foil.
Yeah, the
any
tier
weapon
5
can
hollow foil.
Ooh.
You know, like that's gonna be a chase. Our other events will also have hollow foils.
Yeah, like Arms Week you're talking
Arms Week
about.
will have its own hollow foil treatment. Like we're the.
So hollow
every
foils
event-
will
I mean,
be a skin that will drop separately of the tiers, which means you're going to get a hollow foil that you can't keep because it's not tier 5 or tier 4.
the
that right?
hollow foil drops that you can farm as well.
super exciting.
Hollow foil treatment. Like we're the every event, a major event we have will have a hollow foil treatment. The holidays will have their own kind of special one, but yeah, Arms Week will have their hollow foil drops that you can farm as well.
Super exciting. No, it's going to.
Weevil's asking the new Rite of the Nine event that dropped today. Is it anything new? It's just dungeons. It's just like it's an encounter. I believe it's, what is it? 3 encounters? Is that what it is, Chad? Is it? Yeah, you know, I forgot the exacts, but it's picking encounters from, I thought, several different dungeons, and you do that as one experience, right? I actually need to take a look at it, obviously. But they did add, like, they met the big thing that I kept bringing up. You probably wouldn't be interested, but they have like a solo, like easier mode now that you can like get in, experience an encounter, and
Going to be a good
and
time.
not
I'm
to
gonna
be
have
like
way
you know,
too much stuff to
overwhelming.
chase down.
So just check it out.
appreciate
You
guys
know,
putting all the hard work
for
in,
play,
obviously,
and it's
that.
free. You know, so for
But,
players who never
I
got to
believe
experience that stuff,
we've got one
but it's
more
also got
thing.
hard stuff too.
Yeah, I mean, we've been talking a lot about, here are the free updates coming to Destiny, the portal, a bunch of different stuff, Edge of Fate, but we also have another expansion, and we need Allison back on the couch to talk about
right,
it.
yeah.
All right,
Allison.
so
She's the best one to talk about.
Yeah,
we go.
we've got
I'm
something very
assuming
exciting.
everybody
So once
already
again,
knows this
Allison,
by
thank you
now.
for taking the time to join us today. We appreciate it.
I'm not gonna.
course.
I'm not
I'm
gonna
so
skip
excited to
ahead.
do the one more
I'm gonna
thing.
Spoil it for anyone who hasn't
It's a
seen it. But
tradition around here, so we're glad that you could obviously go ahead and.
I will say before this plays out, it was smart because just ending on this to sort of really put a pin in, like, it doesn't even matter if you're like, well, it's kind of just more Destiny, but they're doing a lot of good things. It's like, oh my God.
lead us into this one, but
They're doing
you know, as
this
Dylan
now?
mentioned, we've talked about the Edge
I'm
of Fate,
fine
but
with
this
it.
is the first year we're going to be doing 2 expansions
Yeah.
over the course of a year. Can you tell us a little bit about Renegades?
Yeah, so we're going to have a dedicated reveal for Renegades in September alongside our major update, Ash and Iron. But earlier we were talking about how sometimes our formulas can constrain us from experimenting and innovating. And so in that spirit, Renegades is going to be very different from the Edge of Fate. What I can tell you, and we'll talk plenty about it later, is that we're going to be experimenting and innovating with activities, with social mechanics, and more. But more importantly, I want to talk about our inspiration. And so I have to kind of tee it up first. So Renegades is going to be a Destiny, like definitively Destiny expansion.
Didn't
This is
actually
part of
tee
the
it up,
Fate
but-
saga, and it's going to push it forward
But
in
I
important
appreciate
ways and introduce characters
justification.
that we're going to spend time with for years to come. It is an essential Fate saga story. And it's an homage to a universe that has inspired Bungie from the start. It's a universe that all of us here on the couch grew up with, as well as everyone else at the studio and millions of you back at home too. It is a peanut butter and combination, a peanut butter and like chocolate combination inside of what we're making that could only be possible in the kind of world that we build here. And so I am absolutely thrilled to be able to give our first sneak peek at Destiny 2 Renegades.
Let's take a look.
Yeah, I appreciate they justified it. They should have just rolled it. Real sound effects so rad. There's your new speeders they made, exactly.
We're going to spend a verse that
I like the idea, though.
Absolutely.
I don't know how they, like, I guess, like, what is it? The skins and, like, I'm trying to, like, figure out how they license this and manage to sell. I guess, yeah, they just, there's a certain amount of, like, Star Wars fans that will just buy anything. So they're like, well, you'll probably see 20% bump in sales, and then we'll take, 25%, and then all the, transaction. I'm just trying to figure out how they get it to work. But Destiny has always been inspired by Star Wars, so I mean, I like, and I'm fine with where they're going. Like, and they explain some of this. I don't know what they'll do in terms of like the direct, like, because some things are very direct. But I'm more than fine with the entire like campaign that's like, oh yeah, you're gonna experience Star Wars like play in this like lawless Tatooine. And what does that mean for the dungeon?
Okay,
we're getting a Star Wars dungeon,
Robbie,
so
what did we just see?
that all
Yeah,
sounds
so that's Renegades,
fun,
which is coming out this
The very least.
December. And to really drive it home here, Renegades is a one-of-a-kind
But that was all,
Destiny
CG
experience, right?
stuff,
And
but
just like
it's cool.
we on the Destiny team have taken inspiration from other genres like dark fantasy or cosmic horror, Renegades takes the space western vibe and aesthetic that is Star Wars, and it puts it through that Destiny lens. And ultimately, it's created a new lawless frontier that is emerging within Seoul. And so, like, we're so excited to show Renegades off a little bit today and to be talking about it more in the future in September alongside the free major update with Ash and Iron. But right now, today, we're focused on Rite of the Nine and what's right around the corner with.
So we won't
the Edge of
see
Fate.
Renegades
Absolutely.
till
A
like
lot of calendar.
September there. Braygasm, have you played any Rite of the Nine? I got like my vault and everything's so full. I'm hesitant to even log in. Like, yeah, I mean, I kind of need to look at it, but I'm like, oh man.
Calendars get marked just now on September, but
Hopefully.
no, super excited to share more of that in the future. But that actually leads us to the conclusion of today's show, which again we covered a lot.
There's been a lot
today.
today.
Yeah,
Delete
it's been a
everything?
big
It's
show.
useless? I mean,
honestly, no,
I wish.
we went through a lot of it. So let's go ahead and quickly double check. We obviously went through, and the Year of Prophecy, pardon me, is going to go ahead and kick off on July 15th, and this kicks off a brand new multi-year Fate saga and our new focus on the core hobby of Destiny. The first expansion, The Edge of Fate, is going to be launching again on July 15th, as I noted, with its raid launching on July 19th.
Okay, hold up.
Yeah.
So you're going through a lot of information. We already covered that.
Oh, yeah.
But like, you can't just sneak in a raid date.
So
We have
July
a new
19th,
raid coming
new raid.
with the expansion.
It's just Saturday, is
July
that right?
19th. We're gonna have a bunch of blogs. We're gonna have the rules, regulations, all that kind of stuff for our raid race.
Of course.
We invite everybody to come in, try to go for that world first title. And yeah, I mean,
it's Saturday.
just stay tuned for more details. We're not going to spoil anything. It's a raid. We got to keep it secret.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
Yeah, everybody mark your calendars.
Yeah. Bungie.net is the place to go ahead and learn more. And again, follow our social media channels. Do us all a favor. So in addition to that, again, as we noted, Ash and Iron, our first free major update, will be launching on September 9th. Renegades, very exciting, will be launching in December. And then keep an eye again on our social channels. We'll provide all the updates once they're available. But as far as today goes, the Edge of Fate and the entire Year of Prophecy pre-orders are available starting right now. Now, pre-ordering for starters, the Ultimate Edition will go ahead and unlock the New Land Beyond.
New Land Beyond, that exotic sniper.
Super
Ooh, I
exciting.
can't wait, man.
I can't wait, same, honestly. That'll be unlockable in addition to
I don't
several
care,
other
but
goodies. And also,
I'm glad for
we've
it.
also got a collector's edition that'll be available. You can see here on screen, it will be coming with
Okay.
an awful other
I didn't
goodies.
notice
And
they
also,
slipped
we've also
in
got a collector's edition that'll be available.
cosmetics. Yeah. So they didn't launch any of these already, huh? Wow, they got the Lord, was it Grievous, Vader, and then Kylo, huh? What's his name? General Grievous. Is that his name? Is that who that is? And then yeah, they just threw that stuff in there. They didn't show any of this for Edge of Fate, by the way, you noticed. Maybe they did and I missed it. But, right? They didn't show us. Oh, wait, the Star Wars stuff is all
available.
The Year of Prophecy.
You can see here on
stuff.
screen it will be coming
They're
with
just like, yeah, nobody would.
a lot of very cool stuff, including this cool
Is that accurate, though? I mean, I am kind of bummed if that's the case. It's like, oh, well, all the pre-order stuff is Star Wars because it's going to have that. And what, you get it early? But then, like, they didn't just make some, like, really fire new stuff. I mean, I don't care because, like,
with a awful other goodie.
yeah,
We'll go ahead.
that's one
Ooh,
downside of
I
stuff
can't
like
wait.
this.
We've also got a collector's edition that.
Yeah. Pre-order now and instantly unlock. Wow. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, I don't love that, but it's where we're at. It's not the end of the world or anything either. I mean, it's just some pre-order bonus stuff, but in other words, would have been cool if the pre-order bonus was, let's say double in size and also included, Rite of 9. Really, really cool looking
that'll
stuff.
be available.
Yeah.
You can see here on screen, it will be coming with a awful lot of very cool stuff, including
It's
this
just
cool
where all
statue
these
that you
live
may
service
noticed
games have
here that's
gone.
been sitting with us on stage. This is one that you can go ahead and add to your collection
Okay.
as well, but this is the essential as well, so good time. Work and dealing
So there's
with
one more
me
thing I
on
wanted
the
to
last
check in
couple of
before we
days.
move on to the GTA 6
and
trailer.
of course, to everyone at home,
The TWAB twid there, but what was it specifically? All right. Okay, let me just peek this. We're not going to read this whole thing. This is mostly a recap. So yeah, we got our roadmap. Yeah, it's nice they cleaned this up a lot more than what we previously saw, so that's good. Oh yeah, dates and prices and stuff. I forget if they put the prices in here. But what do we got? We got Rite of 9, which just launched July 15th. It comes out, but then, of course, quality of life stuff is free for everybody. September 9th will be this major update, which is probably around when we'll see Renegades. I don't know if they specifically said exactly when yet, but then Renegades will be on December 2nd. And yeah, Ash and Iron was roughly what they said. There will be a new event called Reclaim. Is that right? A new activity, and then probably an exotic mission or something. Was that? Yeah. Well, maybe. New sandbox meta, new events, new modifiers to challenge, new gear, artifact. So we got the new destination, Kepler, the new portal. I mean, I we'll see how this plays out, but I'm more than happy that it's, hey, just go here. But for me, it's like what's behind this screen, which is like the weapons and the vault and all that, like for real, need to be smooth and not, like my vault is so full right now still, so. But in other words, they talked a lot about how there will be encouragement to use the new weapons. Now there's no tiered weapon stuff. And like, yeah, like if I can just put all my other stuff away, but also hopefully just get comfortable where it's like, I'm just delete all this old stuff, and just play the new season instead. I don't know. We'll see. Let's see. Armor tier 3 stuff. Yeah, we got energy 11. Yeah, we do have new power kind of reset with all this stuff, with the new armor in particular, I bet. Weebles explained the new roadmap. Honestly, they did a good job with the infographic. The truth is, it's just got a lot of information on it. So I honestly think you'd be better to remove a lot of the words, if that makes sense. Like, you don't need reward pass on there. You don't need to know that this is called the dates. And so it literally is halfway through, there's a major update, or somewhere within the timeline of each. It's 2 expansions with a major update like in between. That's pretty much it. That's the easiest way to process it. But they have a lot of detail on there, so. Shadow Mode's vault space is not increasing with Edge of Fate. Are you citing something in particular? I mean, I didn't ask for that. I don't want more vault spaces, you know, I want gear management. Why, did I... Oh, maybe you're talking erased? Did they say anything about vault space? Surely you're going to now need to save more armor if you need... Yeah, but you'll be able to get rid of a bunch of stuff, so... I don't think you'll need to save that much armor, because you're gonna want... Like, you'll replace your lower tier of armor with, you know, the newer tier of armor, so that should help. Yeah, my vault is full, Shadow Moses. How does... Oh, yeah, you're just saying, yeah, they're not doing anything to help it. No, that's what I'm... Maybe you're agreeing with me. That's what I'm saying. Like, they're not doing anything. My vault is full, so, like, I don't know. I'm just hoping that when you get in there, what I was saying is that if you're more focused on the new stuff and you're not thinking about the old stuff as much, then it's like, you know, whatever. You know, you'll... Armor alone will be easy to delete. So, that'll be good. It's just like, you know, think of like all the work as well. I mean, I will just say, like, that's where we'll see how all this plays out. It's not going to erase that you have to go in and delete stuff. It's not going to erase that you have to create all brand new builds and just really get away from, which again, like on paper, actually is what I want to do, sort of confidently, like have a little bit of a reset and be like, yeah, I'm just going to make like a new build. But then it's like, you have all these old exotics, so it's like I kind of just want my Omnioculus build on right now. You know what I mean? Like, Destiny still, that's part of its issue, and doesn't seem to Edge of Fate is going to solve that, but I think they're aware, and I'm hoping how at least this new armor rolls out. How does it affect exotic armor again with the new... I forget what they said. I mean, I guess at a minimum, it's like you're just trying to get new armor around the exotic you use, but yeah. What was this? This was the cinematic trailer. Well, that was just the little intro, wasn't it? Yeah. I didn't realize right away that was the emissary. I thought it was just in the style of the emissary and all that. Like, that actually was the emissary and the voice and everything, of course, but I just always picture the 9 as that in general. So, don't know if you saw it earlier, but Rite of 9 has hands. I don't know what that means. Have we never seen this or something? We got a dead foot too. Is Xur part of the 9? Tentacle? Do they have tentacle faces as well? Where's Xur from? The 9. Yeah, where is Xur from in all this? But yeah, look. All I will say is this. As a final thought. While they showed glimpses of gameplay and stuff, like, end of the day, you know, they're just sort of announcing a restructuring and a new location. And I'm more than happy to hop in because, like, quality of life stuff's important to me. And, you know, having some new fun with, like, the way you get maybe a power to, like, puzzle solve. But, like, it's not gonna suddenly be, like, not Destiny anymore. I just don't have that expectation. But I do hope, like, pace-wise, for me personally, I'll be happier if it's not a grind. It's like, oh, you know, I hopped in. Yeah, I didn't really worry too much about my loot. I just started getting new stuff, and I was just solving the puzzles. I got the World Tier 3, however that works. And then just kind of have fun with what the new content is. And then if I decide that I want to do a bunch of stuff, cool. But not, yeah, this whole, like, seasonal grind, and my vault's full, and I get 12 pieces of loot that drop every second. Like, I just don't play that way. I don't want to play that way. Nothing fundamentally wrong with it if you, I think, fix a lot of these issues. It's just, in other words, the core gameplay is still, like, all you've really changed is, like, some, you know, quality of life stuff, added a shooting range, and the morph ball. But, like, end of the day, like, you're still going to be throwing down, like, a stasis nade at, like, some Fallen effectively. And that's, you know, we'll see if that moment to moment feels much different. I don't expect it to. I just expect it from a quality of life side to kind of be better in that sense. So, I mean, all that is good. Like, again, around Lightfall, it was nice to come back, experience a bit of the story. I actually thought Lightfall, like, stretched out, obvious. I mean, it did, having us going all over the place, and we'll see how they handle that. But if they just contain it, I can enjoy myself. Like, again, I'm happy to spend the 40 bucks or whatever it is. Is that what it is? I believe so. So that's what I'm looking for. I am not the type of player that is looking for like the perfect pinnacle ops experience anymore. I've got nothing against it. I mean, I play that stuff, but I might even get sucked into it for a little bit, right? To upgrade armor or when the time is right. But, so yeah, I'd be curious how the people who like want to grind this a ton feel. But hey, the presentation, at least I think they did a good job selling you on the idea that there's a lot of new beats coming. So Star Wars certainly helped. Yeah, it's 40, but it's basically $40 in expansion. So, but oh yeah, the $100 version is, but that isn't for the dungeons included in 80 bucks, isn't it? In other words, what the $100 was just like extra fiddles and faddles, right? Where do I find this stuff? Do I go to PlayStation? Where's the bet? I'm gonna go to PlayStation Store, Destiny. Let's do it. Edge of Feet. Just rather look at it here. Let me see. Oh wait, is it in the little twibby twabby? Hey yo, what's going on, Pixie? How are we doing? Man, I am exhausted. I had jury duty. I still have jury duty. I have to deliberate tomorrow. Oh my God. Been very busy, but all good. You know, who isn't busy? Hope you're having a good morning. Thank you for joining us while you get ready. Wait, do we see $39.99? Wait, price. Where do I see it in here? Yeah, where is the list? For Christ's sake. Pre-order info. They just link to it here. Where do they do it? Ooh, you got home from the gym. I wish that was me. Man, I've been busy, and also I've been trying to, like, I have, like, I don't know what it is. My left forearm in particular has been a big issue. I think it's a combination of tendonitis and something else, and I've been trying to give it a rest. But anyway, it's kind of, had to take a little step back. I mean, I still go to the gym, but only once to thrice a week right now. Okay, let me just look here. Where can I easily see the prices? So, $39.99 here. Are they really gonna make me do this one by one? Maybe Bungie's. Where's the easiest place to look at this? Maybe on Bungie. Paranoid's doing 2 hours every weekday? That's a lot, All I would say is like, and I'm not trying to nose in, and I've been through it all. So all I would say, I would have a download of personal experience and suggestions for you. But all I would say is, depending on what your goal is, it varies. If people are trying to like lose weight and see their abs or whatever, like that is very different than like maybe if you're trying to like put on a bunch of muscle and then, but basically it's all diet and you can just go on walks and, you know, if you can get in some strength training, but 2 hours at the gym is a lot unless like you're doing a lot of like movement and like just to feel good. But you know, it depends on what your goal is, like I said. But time does fly. It's nice to take your time if you can afford it, but. Okay, where do I see this? Weights in the morning. Oh man, CrossFit at night. Well, that's all I would say, Paranoid Pixie, is the CrossFit at night is really like you should spend, you may have the time to do all of this, but spend your time at the grocery store and in the kitchen and check your calorie plan. Lose about I forget what a pound to kilos is, but lose a pound a week on average that over 7 days and base that on your diet and really just going to the gym. The CrossFit thing is just kind of like nice extra credit, but not if it's going to throw you off eating. By the way, doing cardio, CrossFit stuff will make you hungry often anyway. And so it also gives people this idea that like, well, I can eat more, I'm starving. And you're like, that, it doesn't really work that way, unfortunately. And I've been through it all, that I've already been down. I used to do TRX all the time. And anyway, you got me started. It's a great question. I don't know if you know, but I'm all about that stuff. So, all right, where do I see buy Destiny 2? Okay. No, I've never competed. Oh, I wish. I'm not big enough for that type of thing. So I would love to. I mean, I guess like it's, yeah. You just have to, like, I think if you want to compete, you have to put on quite a bit, but then the cut phase is pretty brutal. But I did do an extreme cut in 2023. Finally lost a bunch of weight, basically, after the pandemic. I actually had gained during the pandemic, and then I sort of fixed everything after that. Well, for myself, I don't care what weight you are, for the record. I love to talk about it, though. Yeah, I do. Actually, I'll end on that, since we're on the topic. I came home today, super busy day. My food prep was still good. I had a couple like air fried chicken patties that I've pre-made that were easy. I had my Brussels sprouts roasted broccoli and Brussels sprouts, fresh veggies that I eat with like fat-free ranch dip. And dude, I just was plowing through that while I made some banana bread. That'll last me for really 10 days easily. Froze a loaf. I made some Ninja Creamy, if you're familiar with that. Ice cream, that's for if I get hungry, I get some ice cream for 300 calories. Man, I got paranoid. I have a bunch if you want. It sounds like you're already quite knowledgeable there, but. All right, we were gonna check the prices here, but it is Fran's little fit excursion if we, oops, I clicked on the wrong thing. If I get distracted. It's what my Instagram's normally for, but I don't do a good job of updating. It just takes so much time. But I was putting that stuff in my stories for a while. Okay, so Edge of Fate Standard Edition. Why don't they just list it all on one page? Oh, Weebles, you're just saying like on Steam, they just have everything like listed more easily? I don't have to go to every edition? That'd be nice. I mean, linked me to it. Is that link different? Let me see. Hold on. Let me grab that link and see if it's any better. Yeah. Oh, it's under the read more here? Oh, this image? Is this what we're saying? No, that's just features. Where are the prices? I don't see what am I missing? Where is just the prices? Yeah, wait, I'm just looking for the prices. I'm not looking for that stuff right now, but let me just look at this then. Why is this so complicated though? It's very frustrating. Well, anyway, it's 40 bucks. The easiest way is just to, honestly, this is fine. Oh my God, dude. So, Year of Prophecy is 80 bucks. Okay. And then, yeah, we can reference that image as needed, I guess. So, the Year of Prophecy, I assume, yeah, what is... it's both expansions, but they give you a period bonus. And yeah, that... Oh, so wait, you need to get the Year of Prophecy for the... Oh, the dungeon campaign is included in Renegades, that's all. But you could buy Renegades separate. This is where this is a bit deceiving, right? Because they don't list... Right? Where is the... Does anyone have a link to that? What am I missing? Do they... Well, you can't pre-order Renegades yet, so they sort of are indicating that if all you want to play is Renegades, well, you better buy both. I think that's what that's saying, that's all. 3x reward passes? What the frick does that mean? Still waiting for the apron-only pizza cooking stream? Well, a little streamathon maybe. Pizza cooking? I don't think I can make pizza. I mean, I could, I just haven't done it. Steak, you lost 10 kilograms? Nice. Oh God, Pixie, yeah, my Instagram, I mean, I do talk about this. I mean, it's just like my gym stuff, it is fitness lifestyle, but I need to separate my Instagram to not, it turned into gym stuff. I need to turn it into, I think, like, have a gym thing that I actually update and react to, like, hey, let me tell you how I feel about this, and then go back to having, like, normal life stuff on my regular, but you know how it is. I don't have time for everything. Yeah, we're gonna do the GTA 6 trial. I haven't seen it. And I would love to stream workouts, but I can't. There's no way to do that because there's people at the gym. Get me a private gym. Get me some success. I would love to build a private gym. Brigasm carnivore, lost inflammation. Just out of curiosity, how did you track inflammation? Because that's kind of a buzzword is what I would say. there is inflammation, but how would you track such a thing when I feel like sometimes people say they lost inflammation when they're really just trying to lose weight. Oh, Brigad, you're saying like you had like joint pain? I mean, that can also come just from like taking off the pounds too, right? That's interesting. Anyway, sorry, I don't know an efficient way to do this. So whatever, 40, 80, and then, sorry, the $100 version was the one I was trying to decide, like, so wait, let's split this out. It just includes Renegades. Okay, what is the 3x reward pass? So can somebody tell me what 3x reward pass is? Like, cause there's, I'm so confused. Cause like, there's 4 reward passes, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 3x reward. What is that? But this is, what is that saying? Yeah, I don't know about the carnivore diet when it comes to stuff like, yeah, eczema and things like that. I mean, I think, honestly, it comes down to what you can eat. And there's things that can, you know, obviously agitate skin. Yeah, skin inflammation, stuff like that. But yeah, all I'll say is, like, carbs are great. They're super good for energy in your muscle if you have none of those other issues and, like, they're vilified. And that is absolutely not true. And you need fiber. Super important for you and other stuff, and like there's nothing wrong with a low carb, so to speak, but like a balanced diet where you just, oh yeah, I love eating this stuff, and I'm on the track that I want to be, the weight I want to be, I get the gains at the gym I want to be, whatever you want to do. But the idea, people are like talking about seed oils and types of fat and like get your blood work checked, but like it's not that complicated at all. People out there trying to eat avocado and avocado oil thinking it'll make them lose weight when every gram of fat has 9 calories, where a carb has like 4. That's just a fact. Satiety, being satiated, right? That's the important part. Breakdown of the content is on that post. Honestly, I'm kind of giving up on it. I guess I get it unless we have an answer on what is the 3x bet. Honestly, that's all I'm seeing. There's no reason for you to pre-order the Year of Prophecy unless you want those pre-order bonuses, of course, and that's how they're going to get you. And what they're saying is we want a subscription for the year for $80 effectively. Make sure we get you in for the full year, get you committed. We'll give you a little pre-order bonus, and then, you know, you're set with everything you need. And I think that's fair if you're going to play Destiny. And like splitting an $80 expansion into 2, like I get the strategy. It makes sense. But you could buy each one of these for $40, and all you're going to miss is maybe whatever this 3x reward pass is. I just don't know. But I say we watch the GTA 6 trailer. Screw it, no, I don't take BCA.